Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. Pakibati din ng magandang hapon ng ating mga katabi. Good afternoon. In a very simple way, we also celebrate the 8th anniversary of EDSA this afternoon, or at least today. And in a very quiet manner, we thank the Lord for this great blessing. We know very well that events have unfolded and personalities have changed allegiances, and there seems to be no reason at all to celebrate. And in fact, many of us are of the opinion that it was a mistake. 8 years ago, in a very spontaneous way, people gathered here at the EDSA Shrine, not again to topple another president or not to put into power another figure, another leader, but we came here because many of us at that time believed that we would not want the truth to be subverted. We would not want our country to be run by corrupt politicians. In fact, at that time, as I could recall, and as I would recall from memory what I was feeling then, it was not really about personalities. It was really about love for country. It was really about wanting something good to happen once again in this country that we love. But unfortunately, we know very well that today, the story is rather different. Today, we know very well that the country has not gone for the better. And many of you would agree that we are worse off than where we have begun. And we could not fault ourselves we could not blame ourselves for not doing enough or for failing. But let us begin to reflect again on the meaning of this event, not just for the country, but for us individuals. Today we are called the #1 country in terms of the problem of drugs. We are the most drug-dependent country. And many of our young people are easily swayed by pushers, are easily led into thinking that drugs can take away their problems. In this country, we are also labeled as the most corrupt, not just in Southeast Asia, but even in the whole world. We belong to the top 5 or top 10 in terms of corruption. And in this country, we are also labeled as perhaps the country that is most enigmatic in terms of its Christian faith. It is the only Christian nation in the Far East, but it is also the most lenient in terms of its morals. And many of us are saying that the faith has not done us any good, that our Christian faith has not made us a better people. And many also are saying that, in fact, it is that faith that has made us amoral and at times immoral. So what does this picture tell us of ourselves as a people and as Christians? Can we say that there is no more hope for us? Can we say that our country is going to the dogs? Can we say that our lives are not going anywhere? And many of us are packing our bags and going abroad because we don't find any hope at all in this country. And another problem is that we are all run by lawyers. I remember 8 years ago, we were given lessons in legal gobbledygooks, as they would call it. We were given lessons on legal matters. And you could very well say that even today, people can just bend the law according to their whims and according to their advantages. The more brilliant your lawyer is, the more that you have the chance to be acquitted. So you hire an intelligent and brilliant lawyer, and even if you are clearly wrong in what you have done, even if you have violated a very, let's say, you have violated a very grave offense, or you have committed a very grave offense, you can still be off the hook because of your lawyer, who oftentimes are not actually lawyers but liars. So what does that make of us, given this very dim scenario of our country? And in fact, the Chief Justice has called for the moral forces to awaken. He has called on the well-meaning individuals to help in order to rebuild our country so that it can stand proud once again. What does this situation challenge us in our life today as Christians? What is the main obligation and duty of a Christian in moments like this? We go back to our gospel today. We go back to the situation when Jesus was also faced with the same dilemma. When people were throwing him and giving him all these legal matters. And Jesus told them, well, the Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath. It is the reason why the Son of Man came, not for the Sabbath, but so that he can claim superiority over the Sabbath. In other words, Jesus is telling us a neat lesson on the hierarchy of values in our life as Christians. In the hierarchy of values, the most prominent there is supposedly the law and the laws of God. It is supposed to be God who is at the center and the apex of our priorities and hierarchies. So in other words, all human laws and all human interactions are meant to be guided and meant to be directed by the will of God, by the plan of God, by the loving hand of God. And this is what we have forgotten in our life today. We have forgotten that there is only one law that God has given us, and that is the law of love. Everything else is under this great commandment to love. If people do not care about people, then there's no sense in giving them what is just and what is proper. We cannot limit ourselves to legalistic thinking, giving the other what is due. We cannot limit ourselves to say that this is what is legal and therefore it is also moral. Because more often than not, many things legal are also immoral. So in our Mass today, let us once again